Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih. Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. After I think that 1 day and plus, okay, I'm having quite difficulties. I think maybe some router technical problem at mine and at my part. So today I will I already told you before, I will catch up. I try to make a fast move to ensure that this topic one um will be finished by today, inshallah. So then we still in topic one. I can say that it's already third week. Supposedly I have to be at least third chapter, right? Third topic, but due to technical problem and yeah, I hope that you can find with me because we already partial at the topic one. I tried my best to finish up by today, inshallah. Okay, so the last part, if I'm not mistaken, I'm stopped at the elements of the culture. Okay, so by today, okay, I will continue back. Okay, and I will continue on the fourth and the fifth subtopic to ensure that we can actually continue, inshallah. Okay, at the last part that we already, I think, that left before. Okay, so the last time, if I'm not mistaken, we already stop at the element of the culture. Okay, so yeah, I think that we have to move on to the next one, which is what is the directions of the culture. So as you can see, for in a part here, which is the direction of culture have the two, which is it's been stated in the long notes. Okay, if you see, and maybe you can together with me. Okay, we have previously, they said, after defining the culture, okay, let us find out the effects of the culture. So the culture constantly change from time to time, and the preferences. For example, it's not only on fashion. If I told you before, like in Malacca, after the colonized by China and also some of the Malay, okay, in there. Okay, so they have some like assimilation process whereby we have Baba and Nyonya. Okay, and also we have the, in terms of the fashions, you can see that baju kebaya, baju kebarung that we use by Baba Nyonya, even though they are Chinese, but they live as a Malay customs. And architecture, you can see somehow certain of the building, okay, have been decorated and designed as well as during the empire of the colonized, British colonized, boleh terjemah sedikit kepada pemerintahan British, okay, yang mana banyak bangunan-bangunan dicipta dan direka bentuk bersandarkan pada zaman tersebut. And but also in terms of the shift from the poverty to modernity and luxury, we can see that the majority of the population nowadays, because they keep have high educations, okay, and then they learn something from outside, they bring back the knowledge and whatever that they learn from other country, they try to change, because people say why the poverty can be changed through the knowledge. Okay, meaning to say how you want to combat this poverty, okay, by having your children to have education, and then when they have the education, good education, they have the good work, and then when they have the good work, and of course indirectly they will actually change their life from the poverty to, of course, better life. Okay, and then we said in here, this is phenomenon can be seen in Malaysia. So they say in here, previously Malay usually live in the rural area or villages, but now many have migrated to the big cities such as the Kuala Lumpur in search of better living. I can see that even the Kelantanis also migrate to KL to seek for the job, even though they have many population in there. And I believe the another state also doing the same thing, because they believe that Kuala Lumpur is um, the place to earn a living. Okay, you can do as far as many job you want, as long that you have to be hard work and struggle for the life. And this is also the case with the Chinese and Indian communities. The Tionghoa's Chinese ethnic groups who were previously known for engaging in business. Yeah, this is during, I think that you learn in history class, right? Okay, when they have some like dasar ekonomi baru, DIB. He's been how to say, they've been classified into three, whereby they have Chinese, they have Malays, and also they have Indian and other ethnicity. They've been divided into different sectors. Okay, like Malays, you do live in the villages, and the Chinese do, for example, mostly the Malays they will work for the government. Okay, and then like Chinese they do the business, and also the Indians they mostly working at the estate. Okay, so this is how during the EB time. Okay, and if you can see from here, we were previously known for engaging in business, but now prefer to be employed by others. So they have changing. Okay, because I told you before, because they have start to expand and they learn in other countries, they come back here and they study it, they work with others, and on the contrary, some Indians previously farmers or rubber tapers has become successful businessmen today. So meaning to say the DEB is not the long life ever after. Okay, it's been changes and people start to have high education now. They educated and they changing their life. Okay, and according to the Scandia and also Barsuk's 2003, there are the two enduring myths in the direction of the culture. So when we're looking into this culture, they have some like a future. Okay, future, and we will concentrate on one of these myths in the coming section. So that the term global village will be discussed as well in the following section. So of course the two enduring myths is the world is getting smaller and the management is management. Okay, what is this? Okay, so the first one, the world is getting smaller. We are talking about globalization. I think that everybody, my fellow students, course culture, DIP, diploma in international business will know what is the culture. So globalizations in the world described as getting smaller, not due to the physical change, but is due to the rapid development in the information and the communication network, how it can happen. So you can claiming this one is related to the globalization, whereby all the information at your fingertips, and you can just click a phone call, and another a few seconds now we have the video call. And for what we call FaceTime, like using iPhone, right? The information and communication network, which includes the telephone, radio, computer, internet, satellite, and so on. So I believe nowadays there are more than the picture that you can see in the long North City. They have a lot of the gadgets, and in order to make sure that you receive the information is like, it's not like 1 second but less than that, they call 3 I don't remember the measurement, but it's less than a second. So this communication then by gadgets, okay, even allow you to attend a meeting without having to spend much time and money to go to like a certain of the seminar place. Nowadays, like during the pandemic right now, right, we have the 2 years, 2019 up to the 2021. You can see how the transformations and the globalization and the pandemic itself actually forcing those the how you can actually changing the work culture itself. Okay, rather than to go and spending the money, company monies, okay, to go and book hotel, and then you have to pay for your meal, pay your for your what we call your accommodations. So just work from home, and then you just on your Zoom, on your team, on your Google Meet, and then you can have the meeting. The meeting still can be run even though you're at home. All right, so as you can see from here, the world is getting smaller. They said in here they have a tree indicated. If you can see the long notes at the page 12, they said a manager is no longer required to travel far, and you will not exhausted, okay, not tired, or speak too much time to attend a meeting or send information. You can just stay at home, right? You'll be relaxed, you can think more over than that, and the idea come across around. Okay, and sophisticated communication facilities available today enables a person to participate in teleconferencing. Okay, nowadays we have the Google Meeting, we have the Google Meet. We have a lot of the what we call kinds of the platform, just by pressing on the computer keyboard, yeah, and radio channel, as well as the communication networks are no longer limited, as they are able to operate in anywhere, whether you are in the middle of the desert, in the thick jungle. So this one I'm not really agreed, but I believe that maybe like me, I also have some technical problem on this, but maybe some certain the rural area, they have a very strong connections of the network. All right, so according to the Marshall McLuhan in 1968, the world seems like the one global village. Okay, national boundaries are diminishing. The global village means here that is already become globalized. Okay, no boundaries after all. So you can see in here they said McDonald fast food wearing Adidas apparel or using and as a computer meaning to say wherever you are now you can retrieve all this brand name, which is we can see that the brand name is come from other parts of the counterparts of the world. So they say in here, this means that the culture is no longer influenced by the society. However, all of this is nothing but a myth because the culture of the society is still preserved. Okay, for example, no matter where the place is, for example, Chinatown. So, student, as you can know, Chinatown is located in United States, American states, right? But still they preserve, okay, because the Chinatown have the full of the Chinese market, and those people is doing the business. And for those who are Chinese, American Chinese, they're looking for their food, they're looking for their resources, okay, need raw materials, okay, they can go to the Chinatown. So do with the India street, okay, Indian street also considered as like a Chinatown, whereby they can that one is located in UK. They can go and perceive, you can find out those curry, you can everything those we call that the dishes that you raw materials that you want to go for preserve for your culture. Okay, of course food is one of the indicator that in order to mix and in order to how to say we blend it fastly when you go to another place is it takes time because somehow your stomach also cannot accept the new things. Okay, it takes time but it's slowly. We can take the United States for example. The American society is made of the various ethnic from over the world. So this one Chinatown, they're explaining about the example how the occupants of the Chinese community, because they are very strong relationship there, communities, and they are preserve their culture and languages, so they still spoken like Kyonghua, Mandarins, and yeah, which quite preserved Cantonese, and this show that there are still few layers of the cultural barriers that exist, which prevent total assimilations of other cultures. So still, even though they are American Chinese, okay, they still have this assimilation process, but still they have some parts of the what we call as preserve of the culture. Maksudnya dia ada rasa dia rasa culture tu budaya tu masih boleh disimpan lagi, dikekalkan. Alright, so the second of the myths, okay, is about management is management. I looking into this word. Sometimes I'm believe on the esprit de corps, you know. Esprit de corps meaning to say we keep relying each other, and as one management you have to be together. Esprit de corps ni apa kita panggil semangat kesamaan atau kekitaan ataupun saling kerjasama. That is come from the French words actually. And they so called in here, management experts are of the view that management remains management regardless of where it is being practiced. It contains techniques and principles such as the management by objective that can be universally applied anywhere in this world. So they say in here, because the different cultures such as Malaysia compare or to Portugal of African countries, we have very universal management in these myths, and you can see that obvious due to the economic, technological, and management gaps. So it's been stated in here, it is not necessary for the development of the economy, technology, and management to follow either the Western or ASEAN management practices, as each society have its own management culture identity. So if we compare between the Japanese firm and American firm, or a French firm with the British firm, we will find out that various systems such as the accounting, marketing, human resource practice, economy policy, and management approach practices by each firm varies from one to another. So we looking into the country itself. Let's say I'm talking about the human resource practice. Certain countries they allow the child labor, guna buruh kanak-kanak setengah negara, but in Malaysia we not allow it. And certain country they allow for woman labor, kerja buruh ni perempuan dibenarkan, but in our country it's not allowed. So looking into these human resource practices, it depends on the certain country itself, so it will be have differ from one country to country. And Roosevelt Moscanter, the former editor of the Harvard Business Review, said the management practice is not practice which can be considered totally global. Okay, uh, let's go for global, but you still maintain local. I used to heard that term before. GLOCAL. Kita go for global, but instead we are preserve this local. Tak semua benda go to globalization lah. In her latest research, it was concluded that the ideas of the corporate village were the common culture of management unify the practices of the business around the world is more dream than reality. So tak semua. Meaning to say from this statement is not saying that the corporate village or the global village will be synonym to every single country, because it still have to be considered the practice of the business in the stipulated country. Okay, so we're moving on to the last part. I think that the subtopic for the culture and the business. Okay, so they've been stated here. The interaction can cause a problem in our mind map here. In the business, particularly when we involve meetings or negotiations. Bila kita berjumpa, meeting ataupun kita buat perundingan dan sebagainya, perbincangan between the from people different cultural background, there will be some like what we call cultural buntons. Okay, cultural bluntons. Maksudnya kita ada ketumpulan dari segi budaya tu. Tak tahu what is the do and don'ts of the culture that we should do, and what should be omit, and what we can't do and what we can do. Okay, so they have culture shock versus the competitive advantage. So it's been started in the long notes here. The example shown in the introduction of this topic, Ahmad and Jordanian, clearly show how important the cross-cultural understanding is, because it can influence the outcomes of the business meeting or negotiation. I think that they have the cases in. Okay. So maybe I should go like recap back at the earlier parts of these long notes. They have some like a short case study. Ahmad was very excited about his first business assignment, which was in Jordan. Okay, he was going to negotiate a joint venture project in Amman with the company there. However, upon his arrival at the airport in Jordan, Ahmad became upset because no one came to pick up him. So Ahmad have some like expectation that maybe representative of the company will invite or welcome him at the airport, and instead he had to take a taxi to his hotel. Ahmad has expected the Jordanian company to send someone to fetch him, like a Malaysian companies usually do for their business partners. So this is the thing that you should come into your mind, that in other way around, we in Malaysia, when someone come, we locate them and fetch them in the airport, and we see, if let's say your name Ahmad, so we said something like we put like what we call signage. We put Ahmad represent Ahmad, welcome to Malaysia Ahmad. So company, what is the company name? But in Jordan, no one do that. Okay, so later Ahmad has a meeting at 2 p.m. with the representative of Jordanian company. So 2 p.m. meaning to say in evening. Okay, he arrived at 2:10 p.m. So that is Malaysian time. In Malaysia, people usually arrive 10 to 15 minutes later than the scheduled time. So to Ahmad's surprise, the representative were already at the meeting venue and have been waiting there since 1:55 p.m. So meaning Jordanian representative has earlier, like 5 minutes before the meeting. So Ahmad feel embarrassed and apologized. He offered a handshake to his business partner, but the Jordanian spread out his hand and gave Ahmad a hug. Okay, Ahmad dia nak peluk. Ahmad nak shake hand, nak salam, tetapi Jordanian they give hug and try to kiss him on both feet. Dia nak cuba untuk kiss dekat pipi lah. Ahmad feel very uncomfortable being hugged and kissed by another man, while the Jordanian feel Ahmad was not friendly as he seemed to distance himself when he was about to be hugged. So not everybody people will be comfortable to be hugged by you. So this is the thing that we have to know, what is the do and don'ts. Okay, when we going to have some like the different practices and the culture in the different countries. So what is the lesson learned that we learn from here? So they said in here, the culture in the business. So the example show how important the cross-cultural understanding, because it can influence the outcome of the business meeting or negotiation. People not prefer shake hand, but prefer people might be preferred, okay, on hug and kiss your cheek, okay. Um, wait for a while, wait for a while. Okay, now we moving on to the second one. Uh, Secondly, the cultural influence on the business is evident in the workplace itself, as seek the best professional worldwide to work in their companies. So people from different country and cultural background are working together, thus creating the workplace diversity. So management will face challenges in managing this diverse workforce in order to create a harmonious organization culture that encourage the cooperation, creativity and innovation. So this element, we look into the two element depths, okay, which is the culture shock and the competitive advantage. Okay, you can see first one is goes to the culture shock. So mostly when you said that people culture shock, do you know what it actually means? Okay, so culture shock meaning to say those people who maybe going to somewhere, some other counterpart country, they are shocking with the new culture that they have to be uh, surrounded by. Dia ada satu kejutan dengan budaya sekeliling mereka apabila mereka baru. So this thing will be gonna to the like new students, okay, when they have to study at overseas. This is the thing that mostly happen, like your international friends when they are study in Malaysia. So this is might be some of the culture shock for them. But in here we are talking about the workers, okay, which is known as the expatriate, okay. So the ability of the expatriate to complete their task and assignment depends to very much on their ability to respond and adjust to the local culture. Failure to do will result in a culture shock, a situation where expatriate feel upset, confused, disoriented and face emotional upheaval. Banyak yang akan berlaku. Expatriate ni selalu dia rasa macam kalau upset, kalau benda tu tak meet expectation dia, dia rasa sedih. Confused, ada kekeliruan, disoriented, rasa tak teratur, rasa benda yang berkecamuk, and they face emotional upheaval. Yang ni adalah emosi tak stabil lah, bukan tak stabil, ketidakstabilan emosi. So those experiencing culture shock might fail to assimilate into a different culture and return to their home country without completing their given task. Okay, so itu yang kadang-kadang bila dia terlalu terkejut dengan budaya tersebut, dia gagal, because maybe during in their country or the company is not giving proper expatriate training, tak bagi satu khusus yang khas untuk mereka hadapi situasi itu. Later I will post some video to you all. This is like movie, you know, but bear in mind that movie is giving some like picturing what I'm trying to tell you, and maybe from that one I can develop some tasks or maybe some kita panggil exercise lah. While watching that one, you might see and how to say that, picturing what is actually the expatriate might be encounter when they having this what we call culture shock. Okay, that one I want you to cut some from that movie. That one is actually considered a Korean movie, but later insyaAllah. Alright, the second one we have the competitive advantage. Okay, so here competitive advantage is defined as advantage. So I realized that some of you Google. So it's good when you Google, but when you Google what is competitive advantage, it's not same as what we expected in this subject. So I might prefer that in your exercise, you focusing on our subject, cross culture subject. Jadi kita boleh tahu, oh ini yang kita nak dalam subjek kita. Okay. Competitive advantage is defined as an advantage that the firm has over its competitors, allowing it to generate greater sales or profit margin and retain more customers than its competitors. So there can be many types of the competitive advantage, such as the firm cost, structure, product offering, distribution network and customer support. So banyaklah yang akan kita kata kupas yang mana ia berkait rapat dengan pesaing kita. The SWOT analysis lah. The strength of you is weaknesses for the competitors, and the weaknesses of you is the strength of the competitors. And the culture can be the source for the competitive advantage. An organization is said to have competitive advantage over rival organization if the rival organization are unable to imitate the advantage enjoyed by it. So dia kata kat sini, organisasi dikatakan mempunyai competitive advantage, kebaikan dari segi persaingan apabila pesaing tersebut tidak dapat apa kita kata 100% ikut apa yang you dapat. The advantage enjoyed by it. A leading authority on competitive strategy, Michael Porter, mentions that Michael Porter ni dia kita panggil sebagai diamond 5 forces, okay, competitive strategy yang mana dia ada a few things, okay. Dalam subjek IB kita belajar sebenarnya dekat topik 4 kalau you masih ingat. They have factors of demand, the factors of the company, competitive strategy rivalry, and lagi satu tu supporting rival industry, 5 forces, competitive advantage. So they say achieving competitive advantage in country are determined by several factors such as mining substances, market size, and intervention of the government and strategic business network. So looking into here, this is about pestle, external forces that influence how the company able to have this competitive advantage. Faktor luaran, terutama daripada negara itu sendirilah, how they can get the mining substances, keperluan bahan-bahan dia, market size market, intervention of the government ada mengamalkan, for example like embargo, quota, apa lagi, exporting, importing, macam-macam, takrif, cukai, and also strategic business network. This is about network itself lah, macam mana bisnes tu ada network antara satu rangkaian bisnes tu lah. Okay, so they give example in here. Japanese management refers to the effective working culture of the Japanese people. It has been proven to be reason that are many successful international Japanese firms such as Sony, Honda, Mitsubishi, and Toyota. Okay, so what I'm trying to say to you all, the reason is the company in Japan, they are looking into that the company as their god, so they have to work a long time, and they believe that when they contribute, okay, and do work better in that place, they really obey to the leader itself. So if let's say, I think that I have mentioned before you all in our first video, if let's say your name, let's say my name is Shalina, I'm working at Sony, so people will call me upon the surname of the company, Shalina Sony. If let's say I work in IIC, so people call Shalina IIC. Okay, and Honda, let's say I work in Honda, Shalina Honda. So that is how they represent the company. How strong the company you work is representative you. So people, when you see that you have working in the prominent company, you bekerja dalam company yang sangat ada nama ni, okay, maknanya you dalam kewangan yang stable. They look into that. This is how Japanese perceive people. Okay, so the Japanese have a concept called Kiritsu. It involves a set of company with the interlocking business relationship, okay, or strong relationship between the client and the supplier. Ni hubungan antara satu company dengan supplier yang lain lah. The business culture is rarely found because it requires a strong value of trust between one another, such as the relationship creates a unique strength which provide competitive advantage for the firms, especially into the environment which is full of the uncertainty and high risk due to the issues such as terrorism, economic crisis, globalization, and e-commerce. Dia macam satu interlock connection, okay, locking, ada hubungan yang kuat dan kukuh. Maka dengan itu, apabila ada hubungan yang kuat ni, dia macam cable jugalah actually. Okay, it's giving some like a good strong network to you. You can place your family members to work with you together. That is Japanese. So long like Chinese. They wish to have to work with their family members. Malaysia have its own competitive advantage through the interventions of the government in protecting local firms. So this is very important because these firms are still young and need the government assistance. So for instance, Proton, the first local car manufacturer, still need the assistance of the government to strengthen its operation management. Maybe some of you already know that our Proton have been buy from the Chinese investor. So this what we call the first local car in Malaysia have been bought, and some of the shares quite a big in order to survive because now you can see the differentiation of the design manufacturing by this Proton company, but somehow we still relying on the investor to make it survive. To problem dia. So after looking at several culture example of competitive advantage of some firm and countries, you as a future manager must be able to evaluate how far local culture can influence the management of the firm or country in achieving strategic success. Okay, so I think that is all for our what we call topic 1 part 2. So I hope that I able to give you some like open view, and I finished topic 1. You already also doing the exercise topic 1. Thank you so much. And inshallah I will continue on the next week. Okay, topic 2. I hope that my internet will stable and no more technical. Pity to you all. And thank you for now. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.